When the market is playing sideways, you don't want to be in the market. You want to stay out and just watch what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's been quite an interesting couple of weeks. I think about 8 or 9 or 10 now. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
in the ranges that we're in. Uh, this is a very I don't know what's going on actually in the market. I can't really tell you what's leading to the mini bull run. I don't know that I should call it a mini bull run or whatever it is. Because if you look at BTC, it has actually today it broke yesterday it broke that 40,000 mark, and that 40,000 mark was actually a resistance level, the
Mm-hmm.
bull.
Yeah.
Um, so I can't explain what's happening. I think the market is just it's just being the market, but it has been quite some interesting few days.
So so still very unpredictable. Because I'd say for me the reason there's been a lot of silence even on crypto Twitter is because the market has been pretty boring.
Yeah.
There's no significant movement until I think yesterday or the past 2 days that we've seen some sort of progression. Um, is there anything particularly that could be attributed to it? Some of which would be something like there are rumors that Amazon was planning to allow crypto adopt purchases, or basically just getting into the game. Is there anything specific or any sort of fundamental reason you think might have been the cause for this mini bull run?
I think to me it's more of a technical reason. I think every time people are bullish, when everyone is bullish, then the market turns.
Yeah.
So everyone was bearish. As actually everyone has been bearish in these levels, the levels between 33 and between 35 and 30, and we've been in those levels since late May.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even I myself, I'm still not 100%. I don't think the market has changed yet. I don't know. I think this is just a blip, and then it will still take the direction. But the market is that you can't really predict. You can, you can get a probability of where it will go, but you can't really predict how it will move. I think I attribute this current mini bull run to that debate that the one that was organized by who's this guy who this uh,
Cathy Wood,
yeah,
Elon
that
Musk, and
lady, yeah, the one that
yeah,
had
Cathy Wood.
the Twitter CEO in it. I think I would I think I would say that it's one of the reasons why we've had a mini bull run, because it happened I think last week.
Yeah.
And if you look at the market right now, the last almost 10 days have been, all of them are green candles. So I think there's that, and then now in terms of there's a lot of talk about regulation.
Mm-hmm.
When they talk about regulation, and actually I think right now it's even much more than it has ever been. For me, it only points to one thing, that uh, institutions are lobbying politicians now to start looking at it and come up regulations for crypto assets. And so this would actually tell you that maybe they are buying,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they're
Yeah.
buying. And you know how institutions work. They lobby. While they're lobbying, they're still working, as in they're still doing what they want. It's usually a planned thing. Any law that comes into enforcement, it's not that people thought about it right then. It's something that has been built up. And right now, when if you look at the world economy right now, anyone who wants to get who's trying to protect his wealth, they want
Mm-hmm.
they people want some exposure in crypto assets.
Yeah.
And there's no way you can get exposure with the current market as it is. And that's what I think also that's the reason why you see all this all this fad going on right now. Uh, it's good. It's bad for the market right now, but it's actually good in the long run because um, it means that the, the market is getting to a level of maturity whereby now even institutions are now respecting the fact that yes, this is an asset class that we can provide to the public, and while at the same time the government has to ensure that the public is also protected. You see, maybe me and you, we might understand the market better, we might understand the technology better, but very many people don't understand it, and that's where now that's why you bring in regulation, because definitely in any good and in any environment there are good and bad actors, like even in currencies, like fiat currencies. Not all fiat currencies is used for good, a lot of it is used for bad. So but you cannot regulate the fiat itself, you can only regulate what is used with the fiat.
Yeah.
you know so
Yeah.
so I think all this I think this I would actually attribute this bull run to probably institutions investing. I don't think it's retail driven, because the retail is very scared right now. I think most of the people in retail actually, especially the new ones, got in when the market was past 30. The market has around that 5 going up. The market has been around 30. And I think so I'm just of the opinion that I'm of the opinion that yes, the regulations will come. They're important, they're needed, but they need to understand what they're regulating. Is it a use? Is it Bitcoin itself? You can't regulate Bitcoin. It's the same as
Yeah.
you can't be able to regulate the internet, but you can
Yeah.
regulate what people place on the internet. So I think that's where we are. Yeah.
Okay. Now, still on the matter of regulation, we've noticed that Binance has been getting a lot of backlash across different markets. Payment systems or payment channels, banning them from using their platform or using their channels or gateways. And most recently, Malaysia just gave them 14 days to close shop. Do you think this is still on the same pedestal with with regulators stepping in to probably break the too big to fail sort of crypto companies that have come up over the past few years? And if that's the case, then what do you think might be the option for Binance, a very big centralized exchange? Is this now the time to turn into a DAO, maybe?
Now, first of all, a DAO. Let's before I answer you, let's talk about a DAO. I think
Yeah.
I think it's still too early to for an organization to be a DAO. And the reason why I'm saying that is that DAOs are quite complicated to manage, because there's no manager. It's self-driven,
Yeah.
you know. And so if anyone is creating any organization, and yet that organization is self-driven, chances are it's along the way somewhere it's going to be frustrated.
Yeah.
Look at MakerDAOs, the guys behind MakerDAO themselves.
Compound.
They were initially
Yeah.
decentralized. They were initially a DAO,
Yeah.
like it was a genuine DAO. It's
Yeah.
until 2018, no, 20, I think 2019 is when Compound, they actually made now an organization itself that now has, you've seen the level of growth that they've had in the last 3 years. So in terms of
Yeah.
decentralization, it's a bit hard. I think you still need a central authority, unfortunately. You still need a central authority. However, the things happening within the organization can be DAOs. Like for example, the people running P2Ps, the people in an example like specifically for Binance. Binance has very many different uh, business
Yeah,
lines or product lines. So
yeah,
those
it's an
can
entire
those
ecosystem.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's an entire
Mhm,
ecosystem. Those can run as DAOs. Uh,
mhm,
the projects being made on the BSC chain can run as DAO, but
mhm,
Binance itself cannot run as a DAO. I think it's impossible for it to run as a DAO, mainly because of the organization itself. Like
mhm,
there's a need for someone to give the direction, the strategy. There's a need for someone to be the lobbyist. There's a need for someone to like if, for example, just think about it. If Binance becomes a DAO, now who's going to be
mhm.
facing the regulators?
Exactly. I think that's sort of the reason CZ is suggesting that he steps down as CEO and appoints more regulator sort of sensitive person who
They
understands
ha-
the regulation landscape.
they actually had someone back in February,
Hmm.
someone who had a lot of experience with the SEC,
Hmm.
and I think the whole point of regulation, as much as people who've been in the market for long know that regulation has its own, you know, negative sides. I think
Hmm.
for the growth of this space, for the mass adoption, there must be regulation. It's it's a must. It must be there. People have to feel safe that uh, I'm going on this platform. I will not be I will not be conned, and that's the reason why I think actually now Binance two or 3 days ago they reduced the daily withdrawal for basic KYC
Hmm.
customers. Now, um, if you think about it, before it was two Bitcoin. That's quite a
Hmm.
lot.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's quite a lot. Yeah,
Hmm.
someone
Hmm.
to have access someone to have access of that in a day is quite a huge amount of money. And then also, and I think that's the reason why they are getting a lot of heat right now, because I'm sure there's so many people who've exploited that, uh,
Hmm.
good or bad actors. I'm sure there's so many people who've exploited that, and that's why I think they're making the KYC much
Strict.
more
Oh.
yeah, strict right now, because um, they've seen that if you're providing a certain type of product that is not regulated in an unregulated way,
Hmm.
when things don't go right, you'll be
Yeah.
responsible for
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
And but then I say I really appreciate what Binance has done in the market right now. I think I would actually say 40 or 50% of the work in the last 3 years in the growth in crypto has been through Binance. Binance has really come through in terms of the product portfolio. They've done quite a lot, and so they
Sure.
just want to be that too big not to fail company,
Yeah.
not now
Yeah.
but forever. So and that's why they are, and that's the reason why they're aligning themselves to the regulators. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, on the same front, while we see a lot of attacks, of so to speak, on the Binance side, they've also I've been noticing FTX is making a lot of moves and
Mm.
growing in leaps and bounds. And maybe from my perspective, I might be wrong. FTX is sort of Western leaning, in terms of ownership and all that, and
Yeah.
Binance seems to be
It's,
Eastern. So,
yeah.
and at the same time, you're having this Chinese government ban and attacks on anything crypto.
Mhm.
Uh, do you think could pose a possibility of like a politically motivated intention in this sort of fight?
Not really. I think it's just a market. It's just a market dynamic. You actually need to FTX is if you think about FTX,
Yeah.
some of the products that FTX came up with are the reason why Binance is in trouble right now. The,
Mm,
those leveraged products. You see,
yes.
for you to leverage any product, it has to
Mm,
be regulated.
mm, that's
As
true.
in, yeah, as in it has to
Yeah.
be regulated. You just can't come up and say that, yeah, we're giving you this
Yeah.
certificate. You it has to be regulated. And
Mhm,
this was initiated by FTX. Now,
mhm.
and FTX being yes, Western leaning. It's Western leaning, but I think it's headquartered in Hong
Hong
Kong, right?
Kong. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
And then interestingly, Binance was actually created in Canada. So it's
Oh,
actually the opposite.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, no, initially, but I think when CZ was creating Binance, he was in Canada, if I'm not wrong. If I'm not
Mhm,
wrong, that's where he was.
mhm,
So I think all this bashing that Binance is getting right now, the next people to get that will be FTX, and
mhm,
it's because of this leverage products that they're providing. If you're
mhm.
providing a leverage, uh, you must get licenses for those from some regulatory authority, which I think they don't have or they're not
Mm,
able to get,
yeah.
but they've already started offering these products. So,
Mhm.
like you can't sell drugs without without licenses from the pharmacies authorities. Even if
Yeah.
you can't start selling to now go and get the license. No, you get a license first and then you sell. And I think I think that's why they're having all these troubles right now.
Yeah. So essentially, the best approach is you'd rather grow slowly while you cover the ground well instead of growing too fast the way Binance
Yeah,
did, essentially.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, if you think about it, Bittrex, one of the oldest exchanges,
Mhm,
it's so interesting that this exchange has been there for 6 or 7 years, since around 2014 or 2015 there. Uh,
mhm.
just generic growth, no hullabaloo and stuff. They're just providing what the market needs. They do not have any regulatory issues. Well, as in, they're just there. Not a single uh, security incidents that I know of. I've used Bittrex for quite some time. None,
Mhm.
none, none that I know of. So I think also sometimes when you grow or when you put yourself at a pedestal to show people that you're actually growing, now people start pointing at you, trying to
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
why are you successful? How are you getting success
You really
in
get
areas?
scrutinized.
Yes, yeah, you really get scrutinized. And then we're in a market where uh, the market is too new that so many things can be done without knowing that you're actually breaking the law. You learn
Mhm,
later that you're
mhm.
actually uh, breaking law, unfortunately. And then we have lawmakers who have no idea what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
And,
No
and they
one.
also
If,
and they also
yeah,
they also can't catch up because the ecosystem is evolving so fast
so
overnight,
fast. Yeah,
literally, you know.
so fast.
Yeah.
Now, on the lawmakers' part, that's actually a very interesting point of view. And just go on YouTube and then just Google or search different countries on how lawmakers are discussing crypto
Yeah.
assets and blockchain. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're talking about. Unfortunately, the people who understand blockchains are very technical people that they can't
Mhm.
also explain it
Yeah.
in a way that these guys, the legal guys, will understand.
Mhm.
So,
and
it's
and and everyone is trying to look after their interests. Politicians want
exactly,
to maintain the power and
yeah,
control,
yeah,
and blockchain enthusiasts want freedom.
yes, true,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, true. They want freedom. I want to walk anywhere that I want. Right now
Mm.
we're flying to Heathrow, with
Yeah.
$15,000. I will not be allowed to get into that place. But
No.
if I'm
No.
flying to East Heathrow with my cold wallet with 500 BTC in it,
No,
and
no one's going to
walking.
bother you.
No one
Exactly.
even knows, you know.
Yeah.
If there's an asteroid that is gonna come and hit us, and then we're told, yo, chap, everyone get on this spaceship, we're going to
Yeah.
Mars for the time being as Earth is burning. No one can go to space with
Yeah.
gold or their cash. It will be valueless there.
No.
You can move there with your BTC,
Yeah.
you know.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think it's still an ecosystem that no one understands, and sometimes I laugh when I when I hear people talk about regulation, because it's completely different. They're speaking
Yeah.
regulation from the law that they have learned, yet
Hmm.
this is a totally new paradigm that needs completely new thinking, and
Yeah.
probably it will affect the law, whatever curriculum you went through, it will affect it, and it will change.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think that's where I think that's my opinion on the current on the legal developments of in crypto right now.
Yeah. I think the law will have to just play catch up as usual with any
Yeah,
other technology, right?
it has to. It has to. It has to. It played catch up with the internet.
Hmm.
It will have to. In this case, some fingers have to be banned so that now people understand, so that now you can be able now to create legal frameworks that are sound. You see, you cannot create a legal framework if you don't understand or, what you're trying to protect or what you're trying to do. So I
Hmm.
think there's definitely going to be some burnt fingers before now the law now catches up. Yeah.
Okay. I see today your background is the Ethereum uh,
Um,
logo.
I'm
You,
I'm I'm
are you trying
bullish.
to pass a message?
I'm very bullish on it, by the way. I think it is it's gonna be huge. It's really gonna be huge. I thank Satoshi for creating Bitcoin and keep bringing out these ideas out. But I
Yeah.
think in the long run, it is actually the one that's going to run the world.
So there's this upgrade coming up in a week's time,
Yeah,
EIP 1559. And
interesting.
so
Huh?
essentially,
Yeah.
that is going to be one of the sort of the biggest upgrades on the Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah.
What are your expectations?
Um, and that's the reason. Actually, the reason why I'm so bullish on Ethereum is if you look at the developments that are happening on Ethereum right now, they're actually in line with the pains that people have been feeling or questioning in
Hmm.
regards to blockchain. Um, and it's actually now going to make first of all, the network is going to be faster.
Yeah.
It's going to be more fast. Um,
Mm.
I think Ethereum was created when it was created in
14.
2014.
Hmm.
It beating Bitcoin by reducing the timeline. Let me tell you something first of all about
Okay.
BTC and why sometimes some uh, I'm long BTC, by the way. I believe in it. I believe it's a standard. BTC is a standard actually. But when you think about it, BTC was created to be a peer-to-peer. It was created to be a currency, nothing else. It was supposed to be a peer-to-peer transfer mechanism of value.
Yeah.
Period.
Hmm.
Not much can be built on that.
There's nothing like DeFi on blockchain.
Not really. You can't. Even look on DeFi. There's BTC on DeFi. There's more BTC on ETH on DeFi
Yeah.
than BTC
Than
than.
Def than DeFi
Yeah, you
on
see.
Bitcoin. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's because I think the Bitcoin protocol itself, the framework that it was developed under, was
Hmm.
to be a peer-to-peer solution, nothing more than that.
Yeah.
And then it was in 2008, in 2008, for you to make a make value transfer, real-time value transfer within 10 minutes was epic, was huge then. Right now, really, if I'm sending you money and you don't get it in the next 4 seconds,
start calling you.
because
Start calling you.
exactly, yeah, what's going on? Yeah. So I think it as the standard will always remain at the standard, but I think Ethereum and all these other new protocols, Solana, Link, I think they are the ones that are going to now bring out the real use case for blockchain, from from remittances, from dApps, from every aspect of life is now going to be developed on these smart contract enabled blockchains.
What's your price expectations for ETH after the upgrade?
I'm still for ETH. Remember last time we talked, I told you 10K at the end of this year. I'm
Yeah.
still bullish on ETH. I'm still on 10K this year. However, I don't know how how all this negative news on regulations is going to affect the market, but I'm still very positive on Ethereum. So 10K at the end of the year, if not at the end of the year, at least in the next 1 year, in the next 12 months, by half of next year, by half of 2022, I think we'll be at 10K, which is 5x, or 5x from where it is right now. That means that now all the other tokens, Matic, the other tokens that are created on Ethereum, now them, I would not be surprised if I see 20x's on them within that period. I would really not be surprised.
Okay. If it's to move from the current, I think 22 or thereabout, or 24.
So yeah, so right now it's at 24.
Yeah, 24.
If you look at at the chart right now, you'll notice that 1800 has been a very critical level of support for Ethereum.
Okay.
You know, that has even from March, when it really shot up, it shot up from around that region of the region of 16, 18, and that's where it has been in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 weeks, 11 weeks. So just technically looking at the markets, I think it's gonna. I think it will definitely go higher. It's getting to 10K is actually not. It's not a far-fetched idea. It's really not a far-fetched idea. It's just. Just a moment. I just want to actually get the percentage right now. It's 340%. That's nothing for crypto.
Yeah, of course.
that's 3 weeks. 3 weeks, and then that's a very small period.
I think what would give this some sort of vote of confidence is what happens after the upgrades. So probably in a week's time and the weeks thereafter, we'll see how the market responds in terms of the development, how it's going to be taken up by the market, and essentially how bullish we expect that price to move over the next couple of months to 10K, right?
Yeah, and then now one more thing about Ethereum is that when you talk about, when you go to institutions, not enterprises, and you talk about Bitcoin, it's very complicated to explain the value of Bitcoin to an enterprise. But if you to explain the value of ETH to an enterprise is so easy. It is very, very easy. Sit down with an enterprise, explain to them the value that it's going to be, might bring to their organization. It's quite,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
easier than explaining this
there's a
way.
lot of
Yeah,
applications, of
there's a lot
course.
of application that
Yeah.
you
Mm.
can do, you can do on Ethereum, and I think Ethereum is gonna be the, I don't know, I don't know when they get to 10 trillion, what they call it. A billion is your unicorn. I don't know what 10 trillion will be, but whatever that is, that
Yeah.
is what Ethereum is.
Clearly, very bullish, Robert.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for making time today. I think
yeah,
we can probably catch up in a week's time to see what happens.
yeah. So
Oh.
whoever is listening, go buy Ethereum. Not financial advice, but
As usual.
not financial advice. There are risks.
Yeah,
No, not risks. There's volatility.
there's volatility.
I tell guys that anyone that I interact with, when you talk about cryptocurrencies or digital assets, I tell them that yes, whoever is telling you that this market is risky is lying to you. What they
Yeah,
should tell you is that this market is volatile, very volatile, and
yeah,
volatility and risk are two complete different things. And then also tell anyone who thinks crypto assets are a scam, $1.4 trillion worth of a scam. I think I think they're scamming themselves. Their brains are
yeah,
scamming themselves. You know? Like for example,
exactly.
think about it in the Kenyan context, the current crypto market value is 13 times the Kenyan GDP.
That's humongous.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Are you saying that? I mean, are you saying that this scam is 13 times bigger than the Kenyan wealth?
Mhm.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. I
It's
think what we
ridiculous.
should start saying is anytime you're giving your price predictions or thoughts on what you expect the
Yeah.
market to do, just state your price and say financial advice if you're going to look at it long term.
Yeah, exactly. Long time,
Exactly.
good
Yeah,
financial advice.
definitely financial advice.
Come back to me 10 years from now and thank me. Buy me
Exactly.
an E250 Mercedes as a thank you.
Or a Lambo.
Or Lambo, yeah.
Yeah,
But it is,
sure.
yeah. So, but I think now for anyone who thinks that crypto is a scam, yes, there are scams. Same way in cash, there are scams. There are fake notes. They're
Yeah,
there. True. Anything that has value, there must be a scam in it. It has to be
even
there.
in real
It's
estate,
part of life.
even,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
everything.
everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
So, but you just need to know what risk are you going to take with this scam.
Mm. And
How how have you?
how much
Yeah,
information do you need to have to avoid
exactly,
falling for the scam?
exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Frank.
All right.
We'll
Thank
catch
you
up
very
next
much,
week.
Robert.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good
Thank
one.
you. You too.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Okay.